Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. Well, I got a viewer letter a couple of weeks ago from a guy named Andrew who's shopping for a tractor. He wanted to know what size tractor to get and also what options to get. I talked about size last week. I'm going to talk about options today. And in my mind, if I were shopping for a tractor, there's three options that I have to have. You couldn't give me a tractor without them. In fact, I had a company that wanted to send me a free tractor to evaluate on my YouTube channel, and it was lacking one of these options, and I actually turned them down. So we're going to talk about different either options, or some of these could be just design things that are designed into the tractor that you need to look for if you're buying. And sometimes you'll be looking at a particular brand of tractor and they'll have a design and you're just like, I don't like that, I can't live with that. But we'll talk about all those today. And we're going to start at the front of the tractor and go to the back. And the first option I'm going to talk about is quick attach. I'm assuming that you're buying a tractor with a front end loader on it. And if you get a front end loader, get four-wheel drive. Now on some bigger tractors you can do without four-wheel drive, but if you're buying a tractor under 40, 45 horsepower, get four-wheel drive. And get a loader because you'll use it. So on a front end loader, there are two types of quick attaches. There's bucket quick attach, which means the bucket comes off easily. And there's loader quick attach, which means the loader comes off easily. One of those is in my top three options I wouldn't be without, and one of them I could care less if the tractor's got it or not. The bucket quick attach is the one I feel like is critical. Just about all tractors offered today offer a quick attach, and all but one manufacturer offers skid loader compatible. In other words, any attachment that fits a skid loader will fit your tractor if you've got this quick attach. And the way they work, they've got a couple of pins that go down in the bucket and usually two levers. It could be one that operates both, but usually two levers that come up and you can curl out of the bucket and put on a set of pallet forks. John Deere offers their own proprietary quick attach called a hook and pin system. And the Deere folks love it. It works good. And I've known Deere folks that went from hook and pin to skid loader and they liked hook and pin better. But the problem is, if you've got a hook and pin system, a skid loader attachment won't fit on it, and vice versa. But now, if you've got a bunch of attachments and you've got one of the other systems and you want to put them on, go to my website, because we do a lot of business with quick attach on my website, and we can make most non-quick attach tractors be quick attach. And if you've got a John Deere hook and pin system and you want to put a skid loader attachment on it, we've got an adapter to do that. So if you're struggling with getting the right adapter to the right quick attach system, go to my website. Now, I'm going to mention one other in passing. The skid loader quick attach system has a limited lift capacity. It's around 4,500 pounds. And you get up in a bigger tractor that picks up more than that, just about all of those will have what's called a Euro quick attach. They've got a higher rated lift capacity. It's actually a nice system. It's got a spring-loaded, most of them have a spring-loaded lock, so it saves you getting off the tractor. And John Deere offers that on some smaller tractors. Some of their utility tractors have the Euro system. So those are the three quick attaches. And personally, I like the universal or skid loader one because there's so many attachments available for it. But the Deere system works and the Euro system works as well. But the loader quick attach, being able to take the loader off, I could care less if the tractor's got that or not because I never take my loader off. If you've ever taken a loader off a tractor, if you get it on total level ground and it doesn't shift any, you can get it back on. But it's kind of a pain and I just don't do it. I've never taken the loader off my tractor and have no plans to. So as we go back on the tractor, we get back to the operator area and we're going to look at some options there. First off, there's some design features you may want to think about. Some tractors have a straddle mount. In other words, there's a hump in the middle, and these are usually economy tractors. They'll have a hump in the middle and you sit down lower, and there's some advantages to that. The more deluxe tractors have a flat deck. In other words, the deck across where you put your feet is completely flat. Now the flat deck is easier to get on and off of and you sit up higher, and if you like sitting up high, that's good. But if you're on hills, a straddle mount tractor with a hump in the middle where you're sitting down lower will feel a lot more stable and will be more stable because you have a lower center of gravity. So that's something you want to look at. While we're back there, I noticed that there are more and more tractors that are putting the fuel tank down below the step, down below the operator area. And that's where I prefer. Now that's not an option, that's a design feature of the tractor. The manufacturers decide that. But my tractor has the fuel tank right behind the operator, and to fill it, it's up high. So if I'm taking those 5-gallon containers and lifting them up, it's a lot of work for an old guy to do that. There's also some manufacturers that put the fuel tank under the hood, and I really don't like it there because you get all that heat from the engine that's heating up the fuel. The place I like it is down low under the operator area. Now it is exposed there. If you're doing bush hogging of some heavy stuff, it's exposed there, but most tractors have some kind of a shield over that, and they're pretty heavy tanks, so that's probably not a problem. Now on the operator area, some tractors, and this is not an option you can add usually, they either have it or don't, will have a tilt wheel and a telescoping wheel. In other words, it comes up and down and it can tilt like your car does. And I've got that on my tractor. It's an option. I could care less whether I've got it or not. If you're average size like I am, it really doesn't matter. If you're really tall or really short, that's a big deal. Look for that in a tractor. The other thing I've got is a swivel seat. And you find varying degrees of quality when you're shopping for a tractor on the seats. Some seats will have a lot more foam and padding and a really intricate suspension system. And some seats will either be bolted to the frame or have 2 or 3 springs on the back for suspension. But some seats swivel. And it's a good selling feature because you think, well, you know, if you're bush hogging and you want to look behind you, you can swivel around and do that. And I've got a swivel seat on my tractor. I thought I'd use it a lot, almost never use it. So that's one I'm not as thrilled about, but you know, if you feel like you need it, try to find a tractor with it. Now another option that a lot of tractor companies promote is economy PTO. And economy PTO is designed into the tractor. It's like an overdrive for the power takeoff. And when you use that, it's like if you're clipping pastures in the late summer when there's really not much grass there, you're just trying to slick it off and make it look pretty. You can throttle down your engine, kick in your PTO, and it makes the blades run faster. And so you can save a little fuel and a little wear and tear on your ears by using the economy PTO. That's a feature. I've never had a tractor with that on it. I would use it if I had it, but it's not a deal killer if it doesn't have it. The one thing you want to remember is to turn it off when you're not using it, because if you have economy PTO and you engage your PTO and kick up to PTO rated engine speed, you're running your blades like 20% faster than they're supposed to be, and that could end badly. So economy PTO is a nice option, but it's a little scary. You got to remember to turn it off after you're done using it. So now we go back to the roll bar. And this is a second option that I would not be without, is a folding roll bar. Most tractors have a folding roll bar, some don't. Most tractors, about 30 horsepower and above, won't go in your garage with a roll bar in the upright position. You've got to be able to fold them down to get them in the garage. And when we've got snow coming in this area, I'll hook up my blade and put my roll bar down and back into my garage, which is attached to my house. And so the tractor's warmer and it'll start. Tractor's old like I am, and it's getting a little harder to start in the winter. And so if it's in the garage, it'll fire right up, and then I can blade snow the next day. But if I didn't have the folding roll bar, it wouldn't go in there. And so that's something I would look for if I were shopping for a tractor. Now we go on to the back of the tractor. There's a bunch of options back there that are really important, mostly related to your 3-point link arms. There are extendable links, which are the lower link arms that hook onto your brush hog or blade or whatever, that you can release and they come out. So the trick with those is, if you're trying to hook up, you back up and you get real close to the pins, and then you release that and they come out and they go around the pins, and then you can back up and lock them in place. That was a really nice feature, and 20 years ago I would say if you're getting a tractor, get that, because it makes hooking up a lot easier. But I now have Pat's Easy Change. And I love Pat's Easy Change, and if you want to see what it is, go to my website. It's basically an eagle's claw. It looks like this, and so you go back under your pins and lift up, and they automatically lock into place. It makes hooking up a tractor a lot easier. And to me, it kind of negates the need for extendable link arms And it also kind of negates the need. A lot of tractors are putting now, I see more manufacturers putting a usually mechanical or electric connection to the raise and lower of the 3-point. In other words, you've got a lever back there that operates the lever for raise and lower of your 3-point. So if you're in back of the tractor and you're trying to hook up and you're off a little, you can move that lever. That's a nice option if you don't have Pat's Easy Change, but if you've got Pat's Easy Change, I don't really know that you need that, because you're going to be on the tractor seat, back up, lift up, lock in and place your pins, and you're good to go. And if you want to see Pat's Easy Change, go to my website and I offer it for sale there. Another thing that is an option on tractors, or may be, is how the lower link arms are raised and lowered. Most tractors will have one side that is stationary. In other words, you can't move it. These are the hangers that go down to the lower link arms that adjust how high they are. And most tractors will be kind of a fixed link arm on one side, and on the other side will have either a turnbuckle or a crank. Where you use those, if you've got a bush hog hooked up or a blade and you're trying to level it, or if on a blade you're trying to make it not level so you can blade down your driveway and make it high in the middle so it'll shed water. But usually you'll see either a turnbuckle, which you have to, twist to change your pitch of your implement, or a crank. My tractor's got a crank on it. A cranking mechanism is preferable to a turnbuckle, but I would take a tractor with either one of those on there. Now, this last option I'm going to tell you is one I would not do without, and the company was wanting to give me a tractor to use and evaluate on my YouTube channel free. I turned them down because it didn't have this. Most tractors, all new tractors and most older tractors, have a way of locking your attachment in the back so it doesn't go from side to side. Now, some of the early tractors would just have a solid bar or chains down there. Most new tractors have one or two different systems. There's a telescopic stabilizer and there's turnbuckles. These go from the lower link arm back to the tractor. So once you've got your attachment hooked up, you can tighten them up and it won't swing back and forth. And the turnbuckles, you've got to get your lower link arms hooked up to your pins, and then you've got to go back there, and usually they've got jam nuts, loosen the jam nuts, and then twist those turnbuckles until you've got that attachment locked into place. I hate those. I hate them. I wish the manufacturers would quit offering them. A much, much better design, much easier to operate, is telescopic stabilizers. And that's usually some kind of a tube with a solid bar that goes in the middle with different holes drilled in them. So you just kind of swing your attachment around the back and you'll have a pin to go down through one of those holes until you find a place where the pin will go down, and you do that on both sides and you're good to go. I will never own a tractor. You couldn't give me a tractor with the turnbuckles down there for keeping your attachment from going from side to side. I want telescopic stabilizers. And if you've got a tractor with turnbuckles, it's really tough to get telescopic stabilizers. You'd think that some manufacturer would have those, but there's so much difference in the length and the way they attach to the tractor and the lower link arms that there's not just a standard stabilizer that you can order that fits any tractor. So they're hard to get, and I talk to people all the time or write into my channel, how do I get telescopic stabilizers and get rid of these dang turnbuckles? And there's not a good way to do that. So get them on the tractor, and if the tractor doesn't have it, don't get that tractor. Now I want to take a second here and talk about hydraulics. If you're needing rear remotes on your tractor, in other words, a place to plug hydraulic lines in, get them when the tractor is new, because a lot of times there'll be a dealer installed kit, and the kits will be available with all the pieces in there to put the hydraulics on when the tractor's new. But a few years on down the line, when they discontinue that tractor, all those pieces in that kit will go back into parts, and it will get really expensive to put remotes on your tractor. Now, remotes on a tractor are used for plugging anything in that requires hydraulic flow, like if you've got a blade that hydraulically angles or tilts, or what a lot of people do is put a hydraulic top link on their tractor. And if you're doing that, you need remotes on the back. Some tractors come with none. They've all got to be installed by the dealer. Some come with one set, which is 2 plug-ins. Some come with 2 sets. But if you don't have the right number when you get the tractor new, make sure you have the dealer install them before he delivers the tractor, because later on they may not be available. The other hydraulic option I'll talk about is the third function kit, and that's a device that taps into the hydraulic system and gives you a hydraulic flow at the front of the tractor. And you'll need that if you're going to put on a grapple or a tree puller or tree shearer or anything like that. So if that's an option, get it. If you're going to put a front-mounted attachment on that has hydraulic cylinders on it and requires hydraulic flow. Now, if you don't have it on your tractor, we sell on the website a diverter valve that kind of sort of does the same thing, and I won't go into detail on that. But that is something that can be added later. But the remote hydraulics on the back, get those when the tractor is new. Finally, I want to talk about cabs. If you're thinking about getting a cab on your tractor, my advice is to get it. I've known lots of people over the years that were thinking about getting a cab that didn't get a cab and regretted it. I've never met a single customer that thought about getting a cab that got it that wished they hadn't. So if you think you want a cab, get it the first time, and I don't think you'll regret it. Now, cabs are a little bit more maintenance. They take a little bit of horsepower. But if you've got allergies or you just don't like being out in the heat, get the cab. I think you'll be happy with it. So those are my top options. My top 3, ones I wouldn't be without, are quick attach bucket, folding roll bar, and telescopic stabilizers. What's your top ones? Or did I forget any? Put it in the comments down below. Well, I appreciate you watching my videos. I would be honored if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking the mic face icon, and make sure you check the bell so you get notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun store with a whole lot of cool things for sale for the tractor owner. It helps support my channel. And here's another couple videos you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.